Hey y'all, I'm back. So basically, what ended up happening, and I kind of figured it. So YouTube, being YouTube, and this is why like people don't like YouTube, right? Because you try your very best to promote content, good, factual, actual, smactual content, right? And so I was promoting the Braxtons. I paused it, stopped it, everything, right? And it's just like, well, good damn. Do y'all not want the content to be out there? So, like I said, if you missed our Hustle Houston, did a rant on that, talked about the Braxtons. Where we were was with James Comey. So I'm going to check real quick if we are good, because, like, sincerely, it is absolutely, utterly ridiculous to just no. That was just ridiculous. That was just ridiculous. Okay, so you guys basically got everything of the Braxtons. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're gonna continue with James Comey at this point. Okay, let's get James Comey up. It's cool. It's cool, y'all. It's cool. It's absolutely cool. So I'll read the story again because I got time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. From CNBC, everybody. Um, Former FBI Director James Comey indicted after 47 called for charges. Um, right here. Sorry, former FBI Director James Comey, a longtime target President 47's ire, was indicted in federal court in Virginia on charges of making a false statement and obstruction. The charges came days after 47 publicly complained to Attorney General Pam Bondi that nothing is being done about Comey and other of the president's perceived enemies. 47 has made it clear that he intends to turn our justice system into a weapon for punishing and silencing his critics, said Senator Mark Warren, a Virginia Democrat. Former FBI Director James Comey was indicted Thursday by a federal grand jury in Virginia on charges of making a false statement and obstruction for past testimony to Congress, just days after President 47 pressed Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute Comey. Comey is accused of lying during testimony at the Senate Judiciary Committee on September 30th, 2020, when he denied authorizing someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports regarding an investigation of Hillary Clinton and her emails when she was the Democratic presidential nominee in 2016. The charges are, as alleged in this case, represent a breach of public trust at an extraordinary level, said interim U.S. Attorney Lindsey Hogan of the Eastern District of Virginia, whose office will prosecute Comey on the two criminal counts. Hogan was installed in her office by 47 earlier this week after her predecessor balked at seeking an indictment of Comey. Hogan sought the indictment despite receiving a memo from prosecutors in her office stating their reasons for not believing that they were probable cause to ask a grand jury to charge Comey. MSNBC report. Comey said, "I'm not afraid," in Instagram video response to the indictment issued in U.S. District Court in Alexandria, where he was ordered to appear on October 9th. So here is that response here. And after I play James Comey, I am going to go back just briefly to the Braxtons because I want you guys to get that. I know you guys got the trailer, but there were some critical parts that I wanted to say on that. So after James Comey, we'll get back to the Braxtons because honestly, the Braxtons and James Comey do have a tie here. Okay, so let's hear him out.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Now, speaking of trials, with the Braxtons here. Basically, we watched the trailer and everything else, and YouTube and WeTV is being YouTube and WeTV, and it's copyright stuff, this, that, and the third, right? My thing is this: if you're going to put the trailer on YouTube, right, then basically it should be available for everybody, right? And so in the Braxtons, right, Ashley Braxton is trying to give her truth, and Tamar was sent a cease and desist, right? And so the reason why I'm tying the Braxtons to this James Comey, indictment is because a lot of times in our society, when people are standing up for what's right, when there is a voice that is not a part of the wave, and when you don't like the magnitude of what could be coming from that, you will put fear into somebody. Just like those commenters that talked about, Hard and Hustle Houston saying it was a good show, but I'm not going to support the Oprah Winfrey Network because of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Right here, Alicia Lawson said, although a lot of people do not like what OWN is doing by standing by Martell, I think we should give Hard and Hustle Houston an opportunity to flourish, because those people personally did not do anything anyway. They're just trying to make a living like the rest of us. 3 likes now. And like I said, Misty 2882 said, I will not watch OWN until they get rid of Martell. Val H728 says, I will not watch OWN again until LAMH is gone. I'm going through all the comments here. R Heb 2682 says, OWN needs to get rid of LAMH and then I might watch the network. I used to watch Red Left by boycotting OWN. The Instigator says, while this show is good, the issue I have is allowing Carlos King, Martell, and Destiny, who are the most vile, disgusting people on earth, to continue to be employed. Martell is a user and a bully, not only to his ex-wife, but also to other cast of production. Carlos exploits it, and he calls for drama, and Destiny's a pathetic lie. OWN, DuBarry, you can't be this desperate. Hard Hustle Houston is good, but it's not getting a fair go, because many are done with OWN, fine, better production companies than what Carlos is putting out. I will not support anything Carlos King. OWN do better. I will not watch OWN, and that's Renee T4. I will not watch OWN because of Oprah, her terrible attitude she has had toward Black celebrities in her televised interviews, also ties to Nancy Diddler and Harvey Weinstein. Cash Doll OWN was placed in my trash a long time ago. I would like to support the new show, but I just can't. Why pay for a network that supports a woman being abused by a simp? And this is also a problem with our culture as well. We will have people ask for positivity, ask for this, ask for that, but as a culture, we won't support. Some of us are a problem to our own culture. And how this ties back in to Black people with the Braxtons and to James Comey is because at the beginning, middle, end of the day, if we don't stand up for us, there won't be an us. If we don't stand up for us, there won't be a us. If we don't stand up for us, there won't be a us. So Ashley Braxton should have the right to say what is on her mind when it comes to her truth, right? James Comey should not be indicted because we have a president that is more of a criminal than the people he's going after. And we should not have people like the people that I read in Anonymous's comment section saying what they're saying, but yet they not being called to account for basically just having the Black Dash and Black Parks and Black imagination to say, listen, I would like to support, but I'm not going to. So because of this show that is toxic, I'm going to not support a show that's not toxic. That doesn't make any sense to me. So sincerely, it is mind-boggling to me where we are as a country, that we have to be in our own corners for our own peace, when I believe there are more uniters than dividers. Okay, so just wanted to say that there. Okay, so there it is there to tie Hard and Hustle Houston, which was our first destination, then the Braxtons, which is our second destination, and now James Comey, which is our third destination here. Let's get back to that there. My family and I have known for years that there are costs of standing up to 47, Comey said in the video, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right, but I'm not afraid. I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you're paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends on it, which it does, he said. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, and I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I am innocent. Let's have a trial. Keep the faith. Combs' attorney Patrick Fitzgerald told CNBC James Comey denies the charges filed today in their entirety. We look forward to vindicating him in the courtroom. Fitzgerald's longtime friend of Comey and, like him, is also a former top federal prosecutor. A court filing indicated the federal prosecutors asked the grand jury to indict Comey on 2 counts of making false statements and 1 count of obstruction. The filing said that the grand jury did not indict Comey on one of the false statement counts because more than 12 grand jurors did not occur in indicting on count 1. That unchanged count involved Comey's answer to a question from Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, during the September 2020 hearing. Graham that day asked if Comey remembered being taught of person one's approval of a plan concerning person 2 and the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The filing reveals Comey denied such knowledge. Person 1 refers to Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State. Person 2 is 47, who was a Republican nominee that year. The plan concerning 47 allegedly referred to Clinton's purported effort to tie 47 to Russia to distract from the controversy involving her emails. I don't believe it's possible that Comey did not know there were accusations against Clinton cooking this up. Graham told Fox News in an interview Thursday night the 5-year statute of limitations on the false statement charge that was approved by the grand jury, which relates to Comey's testimony about authorizing a leak about the Clinton probe, was set to expire next week. If convicted, Comey faces a maximum possible sentence of 5 years in prison. Federal criminal sentences are often less than the maximum sentence because of federal guidelines. NBC News reported that Comey's son-in-law, Assistant U.S. Attorney Troy Edward, resigned from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia minutes after Comey was indicted. Edward submitted a letter that he said he quit to uphold my oath to the Constitution and my country. NBC reported the charges came 5 days after 47 publicly complained to Attorney General Pam Money that nothing's being done about Comey and others of the president's perceived enemies. 47 claimed those people were all guilty as hell. Like I said before, a convicted felon and impeached twice, right? So just wanted to just keep that in your purview there. Okay. 47 glow about Comey's indictment in a post of social justice in America. One of the worst human beings in this country has ever been exposed to is James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI. 47 wrote, he has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. Make America great again, 47 wrote. Bondi referred to Comey's indictment without mentioning him by name as news of the charges wrote. No one is above the law, Bondi wrote in a post on Twitter. Today's indictment reflects this Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who abuse positions of power accountable for misleading the American people, Bondi wrote. We will follow the facts in this case. FBI Director Kash Patel, in his own post on Twitter, wrote, today your FBI took another step in its promise of full accountability. Hogan, 36, has no prior prosecutorial experience, but previously represented 47 legal cases. She replaced Eric Siebert as interim U.S. attorney for Virginia's Eastern District. Siebert has been tasked with investigating Comey, another 47 foe, New York Attorney General Tisha James, who brought a civil business fraud case against the president. Siebert's probe mortgage fraud claims against James turned up insufficient evidence to charge her, NBC News report. Siebert also raised concerns about a criminal case against Comey. I want him out, 47, NBC said. Siebert, 47, has long expressed contempt for Comey, whom he fired during his first term in the White House in May 2017. Senator Mark Warner, a Virginia Democrat, condemned the indictment of Comey. 47 has made it clear that he intends to turn our justice system into a weapon for punishing and silencing his critics, Warner said in a statement, which know the circumstances of Siebert's departure. This kind of interference is a dangerous abuse of power, Warner said. Our system depends on the prosecutors making decisions based on evidence and the law, not on the personal grudges of a politician determining themselves scores by ousting a respected independent prosecutor and replacing him with a partisan loyalist. I said bipartisan loyalist in the last life. I meant to say partisan loyalist. For example, it's undermined one of the most important U.S. attorney's offices in the country and wrote in the rule of law itself. Like I said, it is quite sad that we are where we are. Hey, Linnell Steele, welcome back in, my friend. It is quite sad to see we are where we are. And sincerely, until we give a damn about us, we won't have anything to care about. Sincerely. It is quite sad that in this country, even with social media, like I said before, I totally get, right, that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, that, you know, there's copyright content, this, that, and third. However, in the same token, either YouTube, Alphabet, Google needs to have a system where it's like green for yes, you can play videos from this channel. Yellow means you got to ask permission, and have a direct email that is just for requests, right? Or red means no, you cannot play any videos. Now, is it sad that it's got to get to that? Yes, it is. But also, too, you could do a content creator directory or affiliated content creators. That way, when a content creator does play a video from one of your shows, then they won't get copyright. They won't get blocked, right? The stream won't stop. Because that's all that happened. The stream stopped because I played the Braxtons trailer. And everybody's talking about the Braxtons, right? So I paused it, everything else, and then the stream cut. So, like I said, I don't mind doing the show over again. And if we have time, I definitely will, do, the Hard Hustle, video again and play that from anonymity because it was a great video. I won't play the Braxtons video again because obviously we learned our lesson, right? So, Lord Jesus. Networks want social media to promote them, but yet social media will punish content creators. How much sense does that make, right? Because content creators are basically a part of the marketing budget, and guess what? It is $0 for content creators to promote your shows. So just keep it in the buck. It is what it is, child. But like I said with James Comey, it's very, very sad that the president is trying to silence people that have an opinion of him because he can't take anybody else not agreeing with him. And I hope James Comey whoops his ass. And it is such a big loss that he can't say shit. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's get to Doug Bowser here. Doug Bowser was the CEO of Nintendo, and he announced his retirement. Here we go.
Greetings to everyone out there, and welcome back to Around the Clock. All right, everybody, it's an end of an era. Doug Bowser, current president of Nintendo of America, has officially announced his retirement from the company. So, hey, without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the details. Now, as you can see here on his official X account, today I announced my plan to retire from Nintendo, effective December 31st, 2025. Nintendo has been an integral part of my life for 44 years, starting with Donkey Kong Arcade as a kid in college. It has been an honor to contribute to this incredible company and bring our beloved characters and worlds to fans through our video games, theme parks, and movie experiences. I extend my best wishes to Devin Pritchard as she leads Nintendo of America forward, and I thank all of you for your passion and support of Nintendo, and you can count on me to remain a Nintendo fan. Now, as Doug Bowser announced there, his successor will be Devin Pritchard, and Nintendo made this announcement on their official website as well. As you can see here, effective January 1st, 2026, she will be the new president of Nintendo of America, and currently, she is the executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experiences at Nintendo of America. Now, and I got this info from mynintendonews.com, Devin Pritchard, the brand new president of Nintendo of America, has also made this statement. I'm humbled and excited to take on this new role, said Pritchard. Doug has been a fantastic mentor, and I look forward to building on the incredible foundation he has helped establish. With characters and worlds that offer something for everyone, my focus will be continuing to build on Nintendo's legacy of surprising and delighting our longtime fans, while at the same time welcoming new players into the Nintendo family. NCL President Shuntaro Furukawa thanked Bowser for his contributions. During his tenure, Doug made numerous contributions to bring smiles to the faces of people connected to Nintendo. I would like to express my gratitude for his strong efforts. Devin, who will become the next president, has also made many contributions to Nintendo over the years. I am confident, like Doug, Devin will continue to support Nintendo's important mission of creating smiles. So there you all have it. The brand new president of Nintendo of America, effective January 1st, 2026, is Devin Pritchard. Here's a picture right there. And I find this very, very interesting that this is happening right now, especially with all the success that the Nintendo Switch is having. I mean, they just transitioned to the Switch 2 recently. And I guess because of that, Nintendo is saying, and Doug Bowser is also saying that, hey, my time is done. Let's move on to a different president, things like this. And it is what it is, guys. Now, people, for whatever reason, didn't like Doug Bowser. I'm assuming because he wasn't a big public presence like how Reggie Fils-Aimé was. He wasn't very animated or things like this. But one thing no one can't say is that Nintendo of America and Nintendo in general didn't thrive during the first Switch 1 generation. Nobody can say that whatsoever. And I think that they will continue their success with Devin Pritchard with the Switch 2 as well. So I look forward to this. There's also going to be a lot of people online that's saying that Nintendo of America is going woke with this brand new president because she's a woman, which makes no sense at all. Because look at this. She's the current vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience. And one thing that no one can.
And not to mention, too, I just want to say this about women in gaming. There are plenty of women that, they game. Did y'all know that the president of Xbox is a black woman? So it's not going woke. Women can run things too. Okay, so just want to say that. Moving on.
Can't say that during the Switch 1's generation, Nintendo did not step up their game with marketing, revenue, and consumer experience. They thrived during that generation, and they're still doing so. So apparently, Shuntaro Furukawa, as well as Doug Bowser, has faith in this woman. And hey, man, we have to see what happens. So with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to like this video, share this video, and as always, remember to keep it locked here at Around the Clock. We're here. We focus on Nintendo news content around the clock. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All right, now let's watch GameSplain as they give their commentary as well. Here we go.
Holy crap, Bowser is leaving Nintendo. No, not the game Bowser, though I'm sure that'll make Mario and Princess Peach happy, but the Doug Bowser, as in the president and COO of Nintendo of America, who took over the role from Reggie back in 2019. So it hasn't even been all that long in the grand scheme of things, though I guess we did have a pandemic during that time, so it also kind of feels like an eternity at the same time. But Nintendo just put out this press release saying as much that Doug Bowser is leaving and will be succeeded by Devin Pritchard, who apparently is a 19-year veteran of Nintendo of America and is part of the leadership team currently. I've never heard of this person before, so it'll be interesting to see, what comes of the company under their leadership, at least in the NOA branch, or American branch, I should say. Furthermore, it looks like we are also having Satoru Shibata joining NOA as Chief Executive Officer. He's currently a part of the NCL team in the Japanese headquarters presently. And speaking of which, we can see that the president of Japan, or president of NCL, had this to say about Doug Bowser. During his tenure, Doug made numerous contributions to bring smiles to the faces of people connected to Nintendo. I would like to express my gratitude for his strong efforts. Devin, who will become the next president, has also made many contributions to Nintendo over the years. I'm confident that, like Doug, Devin will continue to support Nintendo's important mission of creating smiles. So that's a positive statement. Good to see. As for what happens to Doug Bowser, who knows? He may be retiring for good, or maybe moving on to another company. This doesn't say. I don't think it's especially old, so I'd be surprised if he's retiring for good. But yeah, interesting news all the same. Did not see this coming, and we'll see what happens with NOA under the future leadership. I will say, having followed Nintendo for as long as I have, Doug Bowser, seemed like a very friendly guy. I met him at the Super Nintendo World opening in Hollywood, I believe, and super friendly guy. But he never really made much of an impression on me in terms of being the face of NOA, which is fine. But I will say what I've heard internally is that he had a very positive effect on the company, and that his leadership, I'm guessing, will likely be missed by many. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone. That's all the news for you. It's a surprising announcement today on a random Thursday, but there you go. I'll zoom out. Yeah, actually, you can see the full press release here if you want to read everything else is talking about his contributions to the company and his involvement with it over the years. So we'll have to see what happens to Doug over the year, or in the future, and Nintendo of America as well. So with everyone, thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you make of all this, and we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys, for that. And here is here's the press release here. Doug Bowser bids farewell to the Mushroom Kingdom. Nintendo of America president, and chief operating officer to retire, and company names Devin Pritchard successor. So this happened yesterday, that Doug Bowser will retire as president and chief operating officer on December 31st, 2025. So the last day of the year will be his last day. After more than a decade in multiple leadership positions, he will be succeeded by Devin Pritchard, a 19-year veteran of the video game industry and a long-standing member of the Nintendo of America team. In addition, Satoru Shibata will join Nintendo of America as chief executive officer. Okay. While continuing his roles as managing executive officer and corporate director, member of the board at Nintendo Co. Ltd. NCL, Pritchard will also join the Nintendo of America board of directors and become a NCL executive officer. Bowser's distinguished tenure includes delivering on the promise of the Nintendo Switch system to change the way that people play video games and bring new experiences to a broad range of consumers. Earlier this year, he expanded on that mission when he oversaw the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 in the Americas and helped establish the system as the best-selling video game console of all time in its initial sales period. Also, during his time with Nintendo, the company saw significant expansion into entertainment ventures such as theme parks and films, all with the goal of giving more people opportunities to engage with Nintendo's characters and worlds. One of my earliest video game experiences was playing the arcade version of Donkey Kong, said Bowser. Since that time, all things have continued to be a passion for me and my family. Leading Nintendo of America has been the honor of a lifetime. I am proud of what our team has accomplished in both business results and the experiences we've created for consumers. Now it's time for the next generation of leadership in Devin's track record speaks for itself. Bowser continues, she's an exceptional leader. Her promotion is a testament to her strong performance and strategic contributions to the company's growth. I have full confidence that she will guide the company into even greater heights. Pritchard has held executive positions in marketing, affairs, and publisher relations, and currently serves as Nintendo of America's Executive Vice President of Revenue, Marketing, and Consumer Experience, putting Nintendo fans at the top of her agenda. Pritchard plans to build on the many experiences that allow consumers to connect with Nintendo's characters and worlds, video games to entertainment to retail experiences. I am humbled and excited to take on this new role, said Pritchard. Doug has been a fantastic mentor, and I look forward to building on the incredible foundation he has helped establish with characters and worlds that offer something for everyone. Our focus will be continuing to build on Nintendo's legacy of surprising and delighting our longtime fans, while at the same time welcoming new players into the Nintendo family. NCL President Shigeru Fukuhara thanked Bowser for his contributions. During his tenure, Doug has made numerous contributions to bring smiles to the faces of people connected to Nintendo. I would like to express my gratitude for his strong efforts. Devin, who will become the next president, has also made many contributions to Nintendo over the years. I'm confident that, like Doug, Devin will continue to support Nintendo's mission of creating smiles. So, I will say this, right? When it comes to the changing of the guard, I do believe sometimes we get a little 10 toes down too much, right? Because Reggie. First of all, black man running a gaming company. Okay, so that's one. But also, Reggie was more out there with the fans because he wanted to be, right? I think there's a time and a place for a CEO that has a active personality. I think there's a time and a place that a CEO has a reserved personality. But as long as that reserved personality is an active personality for the fans in person, and they have an active mindset to care about the fans, I think that's a fine mindset, right? Doug, for one, is going to be remembered for his last name being Bowser. So I just want to give love, grace, and space to Bowser in the Mushroom Kingdom today. I know they watch on Mushroom Kingdom TV, Brainley's virtual tour live every time I'm on. So Bowser, it's okay to cry. I know you this big, strong, Koopa that, seeks chaos, havoc, and destruction. But I know you have a soul because you have a son, But you did lie about Bowser Jr.'s mama, and it's not Mama Peach. Okay, so don't you take my Mama Peach away. Okay, let me stop before Bowser Jr. tries to interrupt the stream. Let me stop. Let's roll on. Let's roll on here. So to mint right here, Devin Pritchard to succeed Doug Bowser as Nintendo of America president. All you need to know about her. Doug Bowser will step down as the chief operating officer and president of Nintendo of America, with longtime executive Devin Pritchard set to succeed him. Here's all you need to know about her. Doug Bowser, the longtime president and chief operating officer of Nintendo of America, NOA, announced his retirement on Thursday. He will be succeeded by Devin Pritchard, the company's executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience. After his retirement on December 31st, 2025, another member of the Nintendo leadership, Satoru Shibata, will join the company's American operations as chief executive officer. Nintendo appreciated Bowser's contributions and praised his role in delivering the promise of the Nintendo system to change the way people play video games. As per the website Game Developer, in a statement, Bowser said, "Leading Nintendo of America has been the honor of a lifetime. I am proud of what our team has accomplished in both business results and the experiences we've created for consumers," the publication reported. Also commented Devin Pritchard's contributions and said her promotion is a testament to her strong performance and strategic contributions to the company's growth. Who is Devin Pritchard? Devin Pritchard, currently the executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience at Nintendo of America, has been with the company for more than 19 years. She holds a bachelor's degree from Kansas State University and a doctor of law degree from Gonzaga University School of Law. Can you imagine that? Like, she has a law degree, so also too, she will definitely help out the legal department of Nintendo. That's clutch. In a statement, she expressed gratitude for Bowser's mentorship. Doug has been a fantastic mentor. I look forward to building on the incredible foundation he has helped establish. In addition to her new role, Pritchard will be joining the Nintendo of America board of directors and its global executive officer team. So this is the salary here. As per job website Glassdoor, a Nintendo of America vice president can make anything between $187,000 to $308,000 every year. However, with Pritchard's long tenure with the company, as well as a recent promotion, she could be looking at a fatter paycheck. Nintendo has not disclosed her pay in her new role. No detail regarding her net worth is available. So there is that there. All right. So congratulations to Devin Pritchard. Blessings to Doug Bowser. You did what you did at Nintendo, and good job, man. Good job. And that's the thing too. Like, if you're ever so privileged, right, to have the chance to drive the bus, in the words of Rosie Down, to drive the bus of company, you don't puncture the tires and then give the bus keys to the next person. You drive the buses for as long as you can, then you get off the bus and then you give that bus to somebody else, right? So that being said, shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years on to the next 25 there. Let's talk about Rihanna. Yes, indeed. Rihanna welcomes baby number 3 with ASAP Rocky with a photo. This is the first star for the music power couple with a video. Rihanna has given birth to her and ASAP Rocky's third child. Insiders told TMZ that the baby was born September 13th, about 2 weeks ago, and Bad Girl Riri decided to show off the photos for her fans on September 24th. Within 1 hour posting the adorable photo, there were more than 3 million likes and 100,000 congratulatory messages, as it should be. Rihanna revealed her daughter's name in Instagram post. The Diamonds singer announced her 150 million Instagram followers. Her new daughter's name is Rocky Irish Mayers. The date of Rocky Mayers' arrived is listed as in the captions as September 13th, 2025. And look at the babies! 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 Oh my Lord! Listen, I know Rihanna is going to be so territorial as a mother, and oh my God, ASAP is going to be that daddy. Oh my Lord. Just congratulations. Just yes. I'm so overjoyed. I really am. In a photo carousel, Rihanna and Rocky showed off a pair of baby booties in pink laces. So let's see here. Hopefully we're good. Okay.
Rihanna gives birth to baby number 3 with ASAP Rocky. She shares in a post on social media.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
Savage Fenty founder, who also shares sons RZA and Riot with ASAP Rocky, revealed she was pregnant in May at the 2025 Met Gala. The couple's latest chapter comes nearly 3 years after they welcomed their first baby together. And Rihanna, who began dating the rapper in late 2019 after being friends for years, told British Vogue in February 2023 after welcoming her second baby, "Everything changes when you have a baby, but I wouldn't say it's done anything but made us closer." And Rihanna has found love in taking in those little moments of her life with her family. She told E! News in October 2024,
"Just being a homebody. I love it. I love to be a homemaker. I have a lot of women in my home right now, and I just like to be exciting and celebrate things. I'm trying to build new traditions for our little family that we built."
Congratulations to the family of 5.
Congratulations. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's grown family, 2 boys. Got the E! News for that there. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's growing family includes 2 boys. The music power couple already shares 2 boys, RZA 3 and Riot Rose, who is now 2 years old. Congratulations. Yes, indeed. Y'all, we gotta go from greatness to tragicness, everybody. Kelli Farrell, what's going on here? Raw star Kelli Farrell sued over $18,000 after failing to pay former restaurant employee who says ordeal took an emotional toll on their mental health. This comes to us from the Jasmine brand. According to court documents obtained by U.S. Weekly, Raw star, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kelli Farrell is facing a lawsuit from a former employee of her restaurant, Nana's Chicken and Waffles. The employee, Saya Casey, alleges that Farrell failed to pay her more than $2,000 in wages and back pay for work that she performed between early July and mid-August. The suit accuses Kelli of wage theft, breach of contract, and emotional distress, with Casey adding that the emotional toll that this has taken on my mental health has been severe in total, including legal fees. Casey is seeking $18,788.52. Kelly's team responded by framing the dispute as a simple payroll error and asserted that the payment was offered but declined by the employee. In a statement, they said, due to a routine administrative error that can occasionally occur, launching a new business, Ms. Casey's payment was delayed by 2 weeks rather than accepting a certified check that was properly offered to resolve the matter. She instead to pursue a civil suit, one that significantly exaggerates the damages she claimed to have suffered during her brief 1-month tenure at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Now, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Even though it was a damn month, it was a damn month, okay? Work is work. Did you hear me? Work is work. So I just don't get that. That is shady. Now, if that's the case and Miss Saya Casey did not take it, then that's on her. Okay? But if that's not the case, then Kelly, this is on you. That's my take on it, okay? Right here, you are a lawsuit waiting to happen. Oh my Lord, she's found herself in a lot of lawsuits, and probably even more than she's on Housewives. Justified, it seems that Kelly didn't offer to pony up until after the lawsuit was filed, and Kelly responded, doesn't state if the amount she offered was fair or not. Kelly should have paid her what she was supposed to. That woman had bills to pay, and even if she did tell Kelly, Kelly was wrong with her earnings. I'm not saying she a gold digger, but they eat her up in lawsuits. She's got a lot of lawsuits with her name on them. And then came out against Brett Eady and tried to talk about Brett. Child. Moving on. Trigger warning for everybody with this story here from blacknews.com, one of our great sources here. Shout out to blacknews.com. Love them so much. Black mom upset after 8-year-old son suffers neck injury on school playground. So this is an 8-year-old named Bryson. Actually, one of my Instagram friends posted this, and I was like, okay, we got to figure out where the story is coming from so we can get this to you all there. Okay, it looks like we will have time to play the anonymous video, so because right now we are at 39 minutes and 51 seconds, so don't worry, we're gonna get all the topics in. And if you're wondering why I picked it with James Comey, is because I'm following our destination roadmap, but also too, I'm gonna make sure that you guys get the full story here with the Braxtons and Hustle Houston. So we're just trying to catch up from the show that got unnecessarily interrupted, in the words of Jimmy Kimmel, as I was saying before I was interrupted by YouTube. Unnecessarily, I might add. Here we go. Fatima King, an African-American mother from Apollo Beach, Florida, is demanding answers after her 8-year-old son, Bryson, came home with a swollen abrasion on his neck. She rushed him to the ER and later learned another student may have been involved. The injury happened Friday during recess. The school nurse left King a message saying it was an accident with a jump rope. At first, Bryson also claimed it was an accident, but King says she grew doubtful after seeing the severity of the wound. That is the wound right there, ladies and gentlemen. When I initially saw it, I'm like, that's not an accident. King told WFLA the swelling worsened and the wound began to open by Monday. Bryson admitted that another student had hurt him. My son is on the spectrum. Jesus. In the words of Ro, can I just be 12 and whoop this kid's ass? Good damn. He has sensory issues. I don't know what's going on. It's not going to be the truth, she said. King also sent messages to his teacher asking what happened. This teacher responded that students have been playing jump rope and that Bryson had gone to the nurse afterward. Hillsborough County Public Schools released a statement saying staff responded quickly. The district system supervision was in place. The child was taken to the nurse immediately and his parent was notified. Officials know that accidents can occur even under close supervision. King retained attorney William Franchi Law. He questioned whether staff were paying close enough attention and argued that school policies may need to be revised. He also stressed that schools must do more to keep children safe during recess. Franchi confirmed his office is considering legal action against the district. He said their investigation aims to uncover what went wrong, punish for accountability, and ensure steps are taken to prevent similar incidents in the future. Now, let me just say this. I am so tired of these schools saying it was an accident when you know that there was more there. Stop that bullshit. The reason why kids are getting homeschooled is because of the failure of teachers and administration. Now, not all schools are bad. Not all administrators are bad. Not all teachers are bad. But sincerely, what 8-year-old child should be having this on their neck? No child should have that. No child should have that. No child at all should be having that at all happen to them. At all. That should not be on a child's neck at all. Nor an adult's neck. Nor a baby's neck. Anybody's neck should not have that. Okay? Fucking disgusting. Now, that being said, let's roll on here to our next story, courtesy of Yahoo News and Fox News. New virus strain spikes in 9 U.S. states with symptoms from brain fog to persistent cough. As COVID-19 continues to evolve, a new strain is spiking case numbers worldwide. The XFG variant, known as STRAS, has been gaining momentum after first being detected in Southeast Asia in January, according to the World Health Organization. The organization designed Stratus, designated Stratus as SARS-CoV-2 variant under monitoring after it has spread to 38 countries by June. Coronavirus cases has been on the rise in 9 U.S. states, including New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Vermont, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and both North and South Dakota, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC's wastewater monitoring in the United States has identified as has identified XFG as the predominant variant based on data from the week of September 15th. The Stratus variant follows the Nimbus strain, which is highly infectious and linked to severe razor blade sore throat symptoms, according to Stony Brook Medicine, the Academic Medical Center of Stony Brook University in New York. Now, we did talk about Stratus and how it is linked to severe razor blade sore throat symptoms, and it is highly infectious. We did talk about this variant here on Riley's Virtual Tour Live. Stratus has mutated in a way that allows it to evade the immune system and attack it better than Nimbus can, who report. So that is Stratus there. This suggests that the strain may be hard for the body to fight off, especially for those who are unvaccinated or have not previously infected, as reported by Stony Brook Medicine. However, the change is described as marginal, should not be a concern for most people. The health system wrote on its website, the new strain exhibits most of the normal symptoms of COVID-19, although most cases are mild for vaccinated individuals, per Stony Brook. These symptoms can include fatigue, fever, and persistent dry cough. Stratus may also present shortness of breath, chest tightness, sore or scratchy throat, headaches and body aches, upset stomach, nausea or loss of appetite, brain fog, or trouble concerning concentrating and loss of taste or smell. Although that symptom is now becoming less common as these symptoms arise, experts recommend seeking medical attention for diagnosis and proper treatment, possibly including antiviral vaccinations, at-home remedies, or over-the-counter drugs. Individuals should see a doctor if a high fever over 103 lasts for more than 3 days, or symptoms suddenly get worse after improvement, Stony Brook instructed. For high-risk groups, severe COVID-19 illness can be reduced by staying up to date with vaccinations. Experts advise that the virus can also be prevented by wearing a mask in crowded or indoor spaces, especially during cold and flu season, opening a window or using an air filter while indoors, washing hands often, avoid close contact with others, and checking local COVID numbers for traveling. The above were stated. So, yeah, brain fog to persistent cough. And of course, I had to find another source just to verify this, okay? XFG Stratus COVID variant spreading rapidly in the United States as cases surge. Know these symptoms. The XFG COVID-19 variant, aka Stratus, is spreading rapidly in the United States as cases climb. Here's what to know about symptoms of the newly dominant strain. As the fall season begins, COVID-19 cases are still climbing in much of the United States. The country has yet to emerge from a late summer COVID wave driven by the new Stratus variant, which is sickening Americans from coast to coast. As of September 13th, the level of COVID-19 viral activity in wastewater is high nationally, according to the latest data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. These 29 states are reporting very high levels of COVID in wastewater per the CDC. Hotspots include California, Utah, Indiana, Florida, Alabama, and North Carolina. The rise in cases comes as confusion grows around who is eligible to get the updated COVID-19 vaccines this fall. Although the uptick is concerning, especially amidst shifting vaccine guidelines, is a surprise to many experts. COVID-19 cases have spiked every summer since the pandemic began. The SARS-CoV-2 virus mutates, often giving rise to new strains of the virus that are often more transmissible, and better at escaping immunity than their predecessors. The current COVID surge is being driven by the mutated XFG variant, aka Stratus, which is spreading rapidly worldwide. XFG was first detected in the United States in March, but took several months for the strain to surpass NB 1.8.1 or Nimbus variant. Currently, Stratus is the dominant variant circling the United States. According to wastewater data from the CDC, it's unclear when this summer wave will end. As of September 16th, the CDC estimates that COVID infections are still growing or likely growing in 9 states, not changing in 12 states, and likely decline in 24 states according to forecasting models. What is the Stratus variant? Which symptoms does it cause? It will COVID vaccines protect against it. What is the XFG Stratus variant? XFG was first detected in January in Southeast Asia. In June, the World Health Organization, or WHO, classified XFG as a variant under monitoring due to its rapid global spread. XFG is part of the very large Omicron family of variants. Dr. William Schaffner, professor of infectious diseases at Vanderbilt University University Medical Center tells today.com. XFG is a recombinant or hybrid of two existing Omicron strains, LF.7 and LP8.1.2, according to the WHO, the World Health Organization. This means XFG has a mixture of genetic material from these two variants, which may make it better to bind to cells in the body and cause infection. Dr. Albert Koh, professor of public health and epidemiology and medicine at Yale School of Public Health, previously told today.com, MB1.18.1 Nimbus and XFG Stratus appear to be more transmissible compared to other variants. Koh said XFG also has several unique mutations in the spike protein, which may have been shown to improve the virus' ability to make COVID-19 antibodies from prior infection or vaccination per the WHO. However, the WHO assesses the public health risk posed by XFG to be low, and current data or data do not indicate that stress causes more severe illness. All these newer Omicron variants are high contagious, but appear not as severe, says Scheffner. XFG was given its cloud-themed nickname Stratus on Twitter by evolutionary biologist T. Ryan Gregory, who also coined Nimbus and other popular variant names. XFG Stratus variant now dominating the United States. In early May, XFG accounted for less than 3% of infections in the United States, per the CDC's nowcast estimates. However, Stratus surged in June and July during the 4-week period ending August 30th. XFG accounted for 78% of COVID cases. Wastewater sequencing data also shows Stratus is the dominant variant in the U.S. as of September 6th. XFG accounts for over 80% of wastewater samples sequenced by the CDC. CDC has not published data or data on the regional spread of XFG, but according to the Global Initiative for Sharing All Influenza Data, or GSA, open access database or database, XFG has been spread in the U.S. states in most U.S. states since July. Is stress causing a summer surge? We're seeing a substantial upswing in cases consistent with the anticipated late summer increase that we have seen over the last 4 years, Schiffer told today.com in August. COVID can spike throughout the year, but tends to cause two distinct ways in the U.S., one in winter, another in summer. These surges are driven by new variants, decreasing immunity from prior infection and vaccination, as well as summer travel, experts note. 2025 summer COVID wave began around July. It's hard to tell when it will wane, and lack of data or data has made it hard to track COVID in real time. Today.com reported previously. Data from the CDC and wastewater scan, which monitors diseases through municipal wastewater systems, show that COVID viral activity levels are still high across the country. There has been a significant upward trend the past 21 days. A spokesperson for wastewater scan told today.com on September 17th, we are seeing detections peak later this year than in past years, with no indication that we've reached a peak yet, the spokesperson added. As of September 6th, the weekly COVID test positivity rate was 10.8%, a slight decline from the previous week. Per the CDC, during the peak of last summer's COVID wave, it was 18%. The Pandemic Mitigation Collective's COVID forecasting model, which uses data from various sources, estimates that there are 1.3 million new daily infections in the United States as of September 15th. Emergency department visits for COVID-19 and hospitalizations are starting to stabilize after rising for most of August into early September per CDC data. The current rate of hospitalizations is still much lower relative to the rate seen earlier in the pandemic. Scheffer notes, I can't tell you how bad this is, or how severe this current summer increase will be, but certainly the metrics show that we're still having that late summer wave, says Scheffner. Where are COVID-19 cases rising in the United States? Currently, COVID-19 is surging across the country, but the West and South have been particularly hit hard. During the week ending September 13th, the following states reported the very high wastewater COVID viral activity levels per the CDC. Alabama, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Florida, Hawaii, Idaho, Indiana, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, South Dakota, and Utah. Symptoms of XFG Stras variant. Currently, the symptoms of Stras appear to be very similar to other recent Omicron variants. There is no evidence that XFG causes distinct symptoms, says Scheffner. Common symptoms of Stras variant include sore throat, cough, congestion. Say that 3 times. Congestion, running nose, fever or chill, shortness of breath, new loss of sense of taste or smell, fatigue, headache, muscle aches, nausea, vomiting or diarrhea, and also brain fog, which we heard from Fox News as well. Recently, there have been anecdotal reports that the Stras and Nimbus variants cause razor blade throat or hoarseness. However, a painful sore throat has been a well-documented COVID symptom since 2020, says Schaefer. The severity and duration of COVID-19 symptoms can vary from person to person. It's possible to tell that you have COVID-19 from symptoms alone, which is why testing is important. If you test positive, you can seek treatment with antivirals such as Paxlovid, which are most effective when taken early, says Scheffner. People at high risk of severe illness can benefit the most from treatment, he adds. These include adults over the age 65, people who are immune compromised, and people with underlying health conditions. But COVID-19 vaccines protect against Stras. COVID-19 vaccination is safe and highly effective at preventing severe illness, complications, and death from COVID-19. Currently approved COVID-19 vaccines are expected to remain effective against the XFG variant. The Hous said, given these dominant strains are now part of the Omicron family, last year's vaccines and the anticipated updated vaccines should cover these new strains, said Scheffner. Scheffner recommends high-risk individuals getting COVID-19 vaccine to carry them through the fall, winter. Always talk to your doctor if you have questions. The updated 2025-2026 COVID shots, which target LP 8.1, have been approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, but with restrictions that limit who is eligible to get the shot. The FDA only authorized the shots for people over the age 65 and those with conditions that put them at high risk for severe COVID. Everyone else may face hurdles to get vaccinated, such as needing a prescription from a doctor. Changes to CDC vaccination guidelines could also make it hard for certain groups to get the shot, including children and pregnant women. However, the American Academy of Pediatrics strongly recommends COVID-19 vaccines for children ages 6 months to 2 years. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists also recommends updated COVID-19 vaccines for pregnant and lactating women. How to protect yourself against COVID-19. As COVID-19 cases increase, people can take simple steps to protect themselves and others. Stay up to date on COVID-19 vaccinations. Test if you have symptoms. Avoid others if you are sick. Wear an N95 mask in crowded indoor spaces. Practice social distancing. There is that there in case you did not know. Now you do. Now, with all that being said, let's play Anonymous T's video here. It's only about 10 minutes, and we do have the time. So, because I really want to have a conversation with y'all on this. Here we go.
Hit the like button.
Introducing Gemini in Gmail, AI that thoughtfully summarizes conversations and helps craft professional response.
So today we are talking a new #1 show at the OWN network, y'all. I haven't forgot about y'all. When your girl has a busy work day and a lot of things going on, I don't forget about y'all. I just got to get to y'all when I get to y'all. Now, as y'all know, the show that Melody Cherie Rogers left is gone till November, y'all. Is gone off the air until November. No new episodes until November and all of the things. Although allegedly Carlos King was not aware of this and tried to dispute this and tried to say that the people were spreading fake news, right? However, I think he got added back into the group chat to let them know that the show was gone until November, right? So nonetheless, we only have right now Ready to Love and Heart and Hustle Houston airing on the network, right? So there was a reunion episode for Ready to Love. I believe the second part came on tonight, so there'll be ratings again for next week for the Ready to Love part 2 of the reunion. So the audience change for Ready to Love went up 17%, 155,000 viewers. And that is your new number one show on the OWN network. That used to be the number one show on the OWN network, right? And I have not seen, like I said, I've been very checked out of Ready to Love for a very long time now. So it's like I'll try to get into these newer seasons, but there's so many twists and turns, and it's just like everybody's in an alliance now to try to get to the end, only to be like, well, I choose myself. Well, I want to be with you, but you don't want to be with me, right? And it's like, well, what are we doing? What is the point of it all? So Heart and Hustle Houston is the number 2 show on the OWN network.
Correct.
At 120,000. So it took a little dip in the ratings, minus 10%. And I'm wondering if the reason that this took a dip in the ratings is because of the fact that Love and Marriage Huntsville is gone till November, that maybe people thought as well that Heart and Hustle Houston was also gone until November.
Now, if you all remember the show that nobody really watches, it lingers until 9:05, right? So everybody tuned in to Heart Hustle Houston at 9:05, so that way the dragorization of Love and Marriage Huntsville wouldn't get onto Heart Hustle Houston, right? So, like I said, I've been reviewing the show from the first episode up to now. I was the first one to report Heart Hustle Houston coming to the Oprah Winfrey Network before even OWN put it out, right? So, like I said before, I knew that this show was a hit. Jesse Collins Entertainment produces it in partnership with WPP Entertainment as well, right? Worldwide Entertainment. And sincerely, what I love about the show is that these 6 women, they don't need this show at all to exist. The storylines are so relatable where it's like you are rooting for each one of them, but you also are taking each one to task because you know that there's better in them and that they can do more for themselves. But most of all, too, like, you don't mind the show coming back on for a rerun. Like, sincerely, I haven't really seen one bad review for it. Now, I will say that I do believe that when this gets a season 2, not if, but when this gets a season 2, OWN needs to put more money into the marketing budget, because I was with Chef Don this morning. Shout out to Chef Don. I also went to Pt2 with the girls chat. Shout out to her because she went to the movie premiere of Fortuitous. Shout out to her and Melody. Congratulations to all of them for their success over there. And Chef Don said something very important, that, you know, the cast has really been stomping the yard for Heart and Hustle Houston. And hello to everybody. If you're wondering, Bray, what happened to your stream this morning? I was playing the Braxtons, and YouTube did what YouTube did, and they paused the stream, right? So, you know, we moved on. I moved on to different topics, but then just kept doing a circle. So then I had to start the stream all over again. So when you see this stream right here, we start with James Comey. We talk about James Comey, Doug Bowser, Rihanna, Kelli Farrell, Bryson, and the new COVID variant. So if you want to see Heart Hustle Houston and the Braxtons, go back to that first one, okay? I hate to do it in 2 parts, but that's YouTube. So I'm still covering everything here. So maybe I should have covered it from the beginning, but I just wanted to keep the pace going because that's just the pace that I was on. So one love, much love, all of to each and every single one of you. But back to Chef Don's point, the cast have been stomping the pavement, right? I've seen interviews with Millie Chun and many others. And Ro actually came into our chat last Sunday, right? So that was very, very cool. She watches the reviews over here. I appreciate her very, very much for that. And so if they do get a season 2, OWN needs to stomp the yard even more. And I'm going to drag some people in the comments here again. I'm going to drag them again, and they're not going to do anything about it because they have the Black Destiny, Black Parks, and Black Imagination to say one thing, but then not do the thing and support what they've been asking for. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the Braxtons as well. I'm just not going to show the trailer. I'll just tell you about what happens in the trailer. Since YouTube and WeTV don't content creators to watch their content on their streams and talk about it, even though that's how promotion works. But, hey, what do I know? Anyway, moving on, child. Let's keep playing this.
No. I think that might have been the thing here, where people may have thought, no Love and Marriage Huntsville, no new episode. Even no new episode. Maybe there's not a new episode of Heart and Hustle Houston either. And so they weren't ready. That they weren't prepared. That they didn't know that, right? They didn't know that there was a new episode that came on. So none of the less. And I believe Bell Collective comes back in October. So none of the less, hopefully people are still going to tune in and remember, tune in to these shows. But I feel Ready to Love's biggest mistake, and I can't stress it enough, is these long, drawn-out breaks.
Yep.
These long, drawn-out breaks. Please.
Now, for those of you who don't know, this is season 10 for Ready to Love. When you make it to 10 seasons, it's supposed to be a big to-do. And it did not have the celebratory fashion of a season 10. Myself, GG9, our main man Q, Talk with Salon, Dr. Ucha, we do our panel shows on Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, depending on what's going on. And we will be doing part 2 of the reunion, right? And then we'll be getting ready for season 11, which should be taping in Chicago, I believe. Last time I checked on Lighthearted Entertainment's website, which is the production company that produces that show along with Wolfpack Productions, they are still casting for Chicago, last time I checked. But with that being said, it took a 5 to 6 month break, and it's just like, we can only do so much as you give us, right? So if you go on a 5 to 6 month break and then content creators are talking about it, and then you expect us to jump back on the horse like nothing happened, no. Of course, I can't do it as well as Anonymous T. She is the queen of the no, okay? And actually, you know what? You side note, the Staples button, that was easy. Anonymous T should get a no button and record her voice and sell it as the Anonymous T no button. So imagine you're a boss and a boy comes to you with a request. You be like, here's my answer. No. Anonymous T, you can have that one for free, child. Listen, just send me a free note, but I'll play it on the show. Okay, love you as always, my friend. But I sincerely agree. These breaks, these are way too damn much, and it breaks up the flow of how the audience is connecting to all of the cast, right? There are viewers and there are consumers. There are viewers and there are consumers. There are viewers and there are consumers. Viewers, they tune in at 8, 7 Central only here, hashtag on Keeping It Real Friday nights. But consumers, they want to follow the cast. They want to watch review shows, after shows. They want it in any and every shape, form, and fashion, right? So for the viewers, they're not tripping. But for the consumers that consume the experience, you're breaking up their pathway to be able to understand social media. Because if the show doesn't air for 5 to 6 months, then guess what? They lost their connection to social media. You understand? So, like I said, leaning your broadcast, what people can get curious about. Streaming showcases what people actually give a fuck about. Streaming broadcasts, what people can be curious about. Streaming showcases what people give a fuck about. Linear television broadcasts what people can be curious about, and streaming showcases what people give a fuck about. With that being said, let's keep going.
Stop splitting up these seasons. And Love and Marriage Huntsville is going to fill it too. Because you already lose an audience with the delay of the show coming back. The show was supposed to come back much earlier than when it did. So you already lost an audience from Mel leaving, but then you lose another audience with all the delays of when the show comes back. And then the show only comes back for 8 episodes. It's as if it's like Owen was like, well, Mel's not coming back. There's nothing we can do to convince her to come back. Well, we can't greenlit X amount of episodes, no matter who you put on the show. So now we have this random break, and the show's supposed to come back, gone till November allegedly, and how many episodes are going to come back then? Another 8 episodes and then another break? Like, what are we doing? What is the end game? What is the end game with all of these breaks and all of this and all of that? And I think Owen needs to realize, and that's why I really like Heart and Hustle Houston. I think Owen needs to evolve with reality television.
Correct.
The same old formulas, the same old tricks, and trying to take long breaks from these shows is not going to cut it with these audiences, because these audiences, either you draw them in or they look elsewhere for entertainment.
Yeah,
they look
exactly.
elsewhere for TV programming. Now, I think Heart and Hustle will be fine because it's a brand new show. It's still getting its bearings, getting its audience and everything else. So I'm not worried about Heart and Hustle Houston. But Ready to Love used to never get numbers this bad. Like, ever numbers this bad. Probably not since, like, the earlier seasons. Like, the show was getting, like, 300, 400,000 viewers, y'all. It was getting serious. Like, it was getting a lot of numbers.
It's your chance to be Mr. Wonderful.
And this is the thing too, right? With Ready to Love, I think the premise was good at first to create a black dating show, right? But then it transitioned to, okay, I like you, you like me. Okay, let's get to the end, right? As an honesty, it's going to say here in a little bit. And with reality TV, the production companies and the network are selling you a fantasy of what could be, but it has to be based in a realm of reality enough for people to want to stay in with the story and also stay tuned to see how it develops, right? So they're selling you a fantasy, but the fantasy needs to be based in reality. They're selling you a fantasy of what could be, but it needs to be based in reality enough where you actually can relate to it. So let's keep going.
You can invest directly into Start Engine, the equity crowd.
So this is not a good look for, Ready to Love to be this abysmal in the ratings. But at the same token, I feel like the show's been on for enough seasons now that a lot of people aren't on there for love anyways. They're on there for clout. They're on there to try to be on the show for the longest amount of time. They're there to waste people's time and everything else. But they want the screen time. They want the lights, camera, and action. But then what happens when you get to the reunion? You find out somebody's got a secret girlfriend somewhere, or somebody, lied about the connection. And, once the camera stopped rolling, they disappeared. Like it's always some type of foolishness. And usually maybe one couple may make it to the reunion. Maybe 2 couples. But everybody else, it's a wrap. And it's like the reunion is your time to shine. It's your time to get your little digs in. It's your time to get your little reads in and everything else, and try to make a show and try to get your last few minutes of fame up, one out of here.
Exactly right.
So it's really unserious at this point. And then the biggest problem is there's so much bias on these reality shows now, and now invoking the host to host these reunions, I feel is a mistake. Like, I love when Egypt Sherrod, hosts these reunions, because she's not attached or parasocial with any of the cast. She doesn't have any personal relationships or to where they're calling her or they have her personal phone number. Everything's completely professional. And I feel like that boundary has been crossed on several shows on the OWN network. So by the time you get to the reunion, if you have pre-built-in biases or people that were problematic and you're not going to go in on them and ask them the difficult questions and ask them the hard questions, what is the point? What of it all, you guys? But nonetheless, you guys, that is it. That is all for this video. But yeah, the show Mel left is gone till November. So there's not going to be any ratings for that show until November. But what will be interesting to see is how all of these other shows fare without Love and Marriage Huntsville on the air. If any of these other shows are going to get some bumps in the ratings. If any of these other shows, because as of now, they're not the number one show on the network because there's no current episodes being aired, right? So it'll be interesting to see, you know, whether it's Bell Collective, whether if there's any new programming around this time for the next couple of months that is able to really step in and become a hit with the network. So we will see what happens there. But that is it for this video. That is it. That is all. Es todos, es finito, es final for this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.
Shout out to Anonymous T, as always, bringing the heat. Now, I do want to say that, when it comes to reality shows, right, especially like Ready to Love, there is a thing as, hosting the reunion, because you were there all season, right? So you got to think about Andy Cohen. You got to think about Jeff Probst. You got to think about Chris Harrison, the former host of The Bachelor, right? He will host every reunion, right? You got to think about Julie Chimuva. She will host the reunion as well. I don't feel like The Amazing Race has ever had a reunion, but I do agree as well, having a host from the outside that doesn't have any relationships does make for a more dynamic, reunion, because they're able to ask the questions that need to be asked, right? So I want to go with these comments here. I want to go with these comments because I saw these comments this morning. I'm just like, no, we're not going to do this, right? So here it is here from Cash Doll, right? Give me a moment, y'all. There we go. Here it is from Cash Doll. OWN was placed in my trash a long time ago. I would like to support the new show, but I just can't. Why pay for a network that supports a woman being abused by a simp? Instant instigator right here. I'm calling everybody out in this comment section. I do not give two damns, ucks, or ish about. While this show is good, the issue I have is that OWN is allowing Carlos, Kane, Martell, and Destiny, who are the most vile, disgusting people on earth, to continue to be employed. Martell is an abuser and a bully, not only to his ex-wife, but to other cast in production. Carlos exploits at any cost for drama, and Destiny is a pathetic liar. OWN do better. You can't be this desperate. Hard Hustle Houston is good, but it's not getting a fair go because many are done with OWN. Find better production companies than what Carlos is putting out. I can't and won't support anything Carlos King. OWN do better. OWN needs to get rid of LAMH, and then I might watch the network. I used to watch Red Love. My boy Kyle, that's Reb 2682. Renee T4. I will not watch OWN because of Oprah, her terrible attitude she has for black celebrities and her televised interviews. Also, her ties to the Nasty Diddler and Harvey Weinstein. Right here, let's keep going. I will not watch anything again until they get rid of Martell. That is Misty 2882. And then Val H728. I will not watch OWN again until AMH is gone. I used to watch Ready to Love, but I cannot support OWN until Martell is fired. So I just want to say this sincerely. We sometimes are our own problem to our own culture. Are you kidding me? Is the lie going to have to be Melody Cherie hanging out with the cast of Hard Hustle Houston for y'all to give a fuck about it? Nothing but love, grace, and space to Melody. Y'all know I love Melody Cherie 10 toes down. That will never change, right? But I have to ask this question because it's just like, you tuned in for that long for Love and Marriage Huntsville, and when Melody left, now you're done. But when you're asking, just like Thirsty Toxicity Keyword tried to do an expose on the Oprah Winfrey Network and what Oprah was going through, and I did my live on the Oprah Winfrey Network and showcased to you that Oprah has been transparent about the struggles of her network, and also showed you old shows that were on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Okay. Where was Thirsty Toxicity then? Where were the rest of y'all when OWN was just trying to figure out what to do with their shows? So it's mind-boggling to me that the innocent instigator and everybody else that I called out, they're saying they're not going to support Hard Hustle Houston until Love and Marriage Huntsville gets themselves together. What if they don't? Why should these women on Heart and Hustle Houston be reprimanded for a point of view that doesn't have anything to do with them? Are you fucking stupid? Sometimes in life, I really wonder about y'all. I really do, because it's just like, so you mean to tell me that a show that has women being about their business, right, that you don't mind when the show comes on the air, right? But above all else, it's everything that y'all asking for. And on top of that, to Instagram comment saying, I will not support anything of Carlos King, and that includes OWN, because OWN is broadcast Carlos King content. The show is produced by Jesse Collins Entertainment and WPP Worldwide Entertainment. Are you kidding me? Let me go back to the comment. This is what y'all said in the comment section. Don't at me. Misty 28882. Okay. Val H7728. Well, I'm calling all y'all out. I do not care. I do not care at all. Renee T4. RREB 2682. Let's see, it's an instigator as well. Cash Doll. Child. I'm going to need y'all to either be about something or shut the fuck up about anything. Because sincerely, it's getting tiring. Sincerely. To say this right here, that OWN do better and find better production companies than what Carlos King is putting out. And there's a whole show that you even said in your comment that the show is good. So what if this show doesn't come back for a season 2? This is going to be your fault, Instigator, and everybody else who did not watch the show to prove a point to Carlos King. Hey, Tuber Chat, good to see you, my friend. By the way, if you have not been to Tuber Chat's channel, please go and support. He has 3 shows a week. You can go in and, drop in, talk to everybody that wants to talk with your girl. Great brother. He plays music over there and just is really, really good. Tuber Chat, I got some numbers to show you, good sir. I got some numbers to show you here before you head out, because I know that you are a productive brother. Right here, 3,254 subscribers here. And then look at this right here, my man. 828,603 total views. We're getting there, brother. We're getting there. So shout out to Tuber Chat. Connect and grow. Like, comment, share, subscribe to that brother right there. A great individual. So yeah, shout out to Tuber Chat for sure. But sincerely, either stand up for something or sit the fuck down and not be about anything. It's an instigator to everybody else that I called out in the chat. Because I said my 5 statements a long time ago. By the time season 7 comes on TV, it's going to be season 8 on YouTube. Something coming down the line nobody know about. Social media and the show are going to clash in a way that we've never seen before. That final season poster looked like a final season poster for a reason, and all we revealed was not chosen by accident. And I said by the time that show ended, it was going to prove who's a real content creator and who ain't a real content creator. I said those 6 statements, but I wasn't big enough for y'all. But then I said this show was going to be a hit. Like, come on now. Sincerely. Like, this comment right here is giving guilty energy. You're going to tell OWN to go find better production companies than Carlos King. They find 2 production companies and your ass don't watch it. Now, you got the right not to watch, but also, too, the instigator, everybody else that I called out, don't complain if it doesn't come back for a season 2. That's it. You don't have the right to complain for what you want, and then when an option is given to you, you don't want to watch it. The fuck wrong with you? Don't make no damn sense. Let me go to a comment that I actually liked here, because I'm just like, no. And not to mention too, let me read all the other comments too, because Instigator said, and I quote, along with all the other people that said what they said was, many are done with OWN. Many are done with OWN. Let's see here. I love Hard Hustle Houston, real reality black excellence, great news. HHH had time slot change as well. I'm a see, watch the replay, and I absolutely love Hard Hustle Houston. I love their dynamic of being supportive of each other and their true friendship and share their true lives, even though they don't always agree. They generally love each other as friends. Great show. Esha Lawson right here. A lot of people do not like what OWN is doing, which is standing by Martell. But I do think we should give Hard Hustle Houston an opportunity to flourish, because those people personally did not do anything to anyone. They're just trying to make a living like the rest of us. I really enjoyed H&H. Well-deserved Hard Hustle Houston. I enjoyed this show very much, right? So it looks like to me, all right here, I love this for them. Love Hard Hustle Houston. So, and reality TV entertainment needs to be posted them on Instagram so they get more traffic. So it looks like to me, as an instigator, the comment section that you dropped in, there are people who are watching the Oprah Winfrey Network because they like the show. It seems like you have a guilty energy with this comment. Sincerely, like I can't deal with the bullshit. Can't do it. I can't do it. So let me be fair. I'm gonna call out everybody. Cash Doll, calling you out. Instigator, I'm calling your ass out. Let's see here. Who else? Reb 2682, calling your ass out. Renee YT, Renee T4, calling your ass out. Now you got the right to feel how you want to feel about Oprah, but that's not the assignment here. The assignment is we have a show of black positivity, but yet y'all asked for it, but you're not watching it. Now, you got the right not to watch it, but also, too, don't complain about what you're not watching when you ask for it. I'm calling everybody. I'm not giving a fuck. Val H728 Misty 28882. Okay? Just stop it. Just stop. So this is why I said, child, I have to drop in the chat and say this. I love you, Anonymous T2. Everybody saying that they love the show, but they don't go and watch because of LAMH. You are a whole problem. I do not care how you feel about me. These ladies not only stand on their own, but they are about everything that y'all have been asking for. A show that's not always about the drama storylines that are relatable, but most of all, something we can actually invest in sincerely. Some of us, not all of us, but not all of us, but some of us are our own problem too, our own culture. If you're really about it, watch it. But if you're still going to complain about LAMH, but yet not watch it, then you never want anything positivity. Don't punish the show because of thank God some of y'all are not God. And I mean that shit. Every motherfucking ass word of it. Don't make no damn sense. And if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to me. But if you do respond to me, it must be true about your ass to some damn degree. I can't. And then Samantha Uncut. Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello. And I love Samantha Uncut. Y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe to her. But look at this. She said, and I quote, I've been trying to get into Hard Hustle Houston, but Lord, I said I want to be supporting the OWN network. I wish it was on a different network. I don't know. I'm torn. And look at the comments here. I said the same thing, but gave it a chance. It's pretty good. It's a really good show, sis. You'll love it. It's an excellent show. So this is why I said, in the words of Melody, hi, Samantha. Hello. Listen, we cannot be of a people to say to a network, we're tired of this show because it's not about like excellence. You allow toxicity rather, this, that, the third one. And then when that show comes on, go against all that. And when the show then when the show comes on that's against all that and is of higher quality, and there's something that you can actually connect with, we can't disrespect that show just to prove a point. I've always loved you and still do, but either we're about wanting more, we're about complaining about things. So it's up to you. Either way, I'm still going to support you, but we got to be more than what we're asking for. That's it. I don't know what else to tell y'all. So that's my opinion on everything with Hard Hustle Houston. Shout out to the show. Shout out to Ro. There's a season finale party happening in Houston. I wish I could be there in person with all those gorgeous people. And Chef Don, you better get your ass there and bring those oils, because LaBria said on Millie Chun's interview that she wanted your oils, good sir. Go get that bag that is worthy of your presence for sure. All right, y'all. Now, I can't show you the Braxtons because WeTV and YouTube are being bitches and mitches because they don't want content creators to review content. So I'm just going to tell y'all what's happening here, okay? So, first look at the Braxtons, okay, on WeTV. And by the way, when I say YouTube is being bitches and mitches, That does not mean I don't love YouTube. That does not mean I don't love WeTV. I love WeTV and YouTube. But it is so unreasonably unfair, okay, that you're just trying to play a trailer from a show to support a network and to support that show, and yet you get copyrighted. That doesn't make any sense. Either everybody gets to review it, or you let all content creators know, no, you can't do it. Or make a fucking directory, so that way when a content creator is showcasing a video from a show, they don't get copy struck. Can that be done, please and thank you? It ain't that hard. Good damn. You're hurting yourself. After the writers and actors strike, you would think that there will be more unity in Hollywood. It was to the point where SAG-AFTRA said, if you review any movie or TV show, you will be banned from the guild for life. But yet SAG-AFTRA had a whole contract with Netflix to air the SAG-AFTRA Awards live on Netflix during the strike. Where they do that at? Let's roll on. Because I just can't. I just can't. So, of course, opening, all the ladies are getting ready for Lati Dati everybody. We're back season 2 of the Braxtons. I can't believe it's happening. Last season was pretty heavy from Tony. So basically they're recapping everything. You know, Tony almost had a heart attack, as you guys know, she has lupus. But there is a new force that could make her have a heart attack. And basically talking about how the sisters, you know, were showing up for each other and, you know, honoring Tracy's legacy. And so that is where season 1 was. And so now we get to season 2 here. OG Singleton is an executive producer on Nelly and Shanti, We Belong Together. If you missed that, just type in Nelly and Shanti on this channel. We got for you, okay? So Tawanda Braxton is going to be getting married as well. Trina says you're welcome for the Braxton season 2. And also, too, like I said, Michael Braxton, Pimp Daddy, is practicing his walk down the aisle with his daughter Tawanda. So yes, indeed, there. And let me tell you something. It's like Michael Braxton here and Tawanda here, and it's just Pimp Daddy walking, Pimp Daddy walking, Pimp Daddy walking, Pimp Daddy walking. Like, yeah, I got the beard and everything. You see, I got a hat on. Listen, I am that motherfucker. I'm not bad at it, though. I'm not bad at it at all. Yes, indeed. And so, you know, Tamar is now a cast member instead of a friend to the show. But you can't be a friend to the show because you're a family member. But that's neither here nor there, right? So, with that being said, Tony's looking to, you know, the fun and laughter, and Tawanda's hair is blowing in the wind. We all know that she has alopecia. Now, Tamar brings up a blow-up doll of Tawanda. Okay, now it's not cute when you did that because you don't like people calling you a Muppet. Now we see Trina in this Bridgerton outfit because Tawanda won a Bridgerton bachelorette party. A lot of people dragged her for it, but hey, it's her wedding, y'all. She gets to do what she wants to do. Wouldn't be what I would want to do. But in the same token, you can interpret it, right? So maybe, you know, you can have, you know, suits with patterns from the world of Bridgerton and dresses that, you know, aren't puffy and stuff, but, you know, they can be form-fitting with patterns and stuff. There's a way to do it. But hey, that was Tawanda's choice, right? So, like I said, Tawanda is getting married, and she is so excited about it. She really, really is, and I'm excited for her. Now, for those of you who don't know who Sean is, Sean has been in the Braxtons' lives for a very long time. Some people have said, who is Sean, right? Who is Sean? Sean, and let me just put up the Braxtons here so you guys can just see that there, okay? So, just so we can be on the Braxtons, right? So, Sean, right? Sean basically, you know, has been in and out of Tawanda's life for a very, very long time, right? So Sean is not new. So for people saying that he's new, you're out your mind and you haven't been paying attention. And so as the preview continues here, we're getting ready to see a dinner scene here. So the intro goes right now, long intro. There's no theme song. It's just going through Atlanta and then the Braxtons, right? So 5 minutes, cameras in place, and OG is making it do what it do. Tawanda is arriving on the scene. Trina is arriving on the scene as well, and Tony is there as well, and Tamar is on her way as well. So it looks like they're Tawanda's eating oysters and drinking a martini. And child, this scene right here, remember this short sneak peek where Tony got up in Tamar's face? We're about to see that. And so this dinner is talking about why Tamar did not want to film with the Braxtons, right? So Tony's talking about Ashley Braxton, who basically, had a family issue, right? This was reported, I think, last year. So basically, Ashley Braxton shared on social media that one of her famous aunts cut her off after an alleged incident growing up in the Braxton family where she was a minor, right? And so, everybody's going through the Rolodex of possibilities, right? They're thinking about Trina's ex-husband, Gabe, who passed away to cancer. They're thinking of Tawanda's ex-husband, and they're thinking of maybe Tony's ex-husband. But Tony has been married in some time. And if you're wondering why I can't show, it's because YouTube and WeTV are being extra, okay? It's them. It's not me. I want to show the trailer to y'all. I do, okay? They're just not wanting me to show it, okay? They don't want anybody to review it at all, which doesn't make any sense because a rising tide lifts all boats, but that's neither here nor there. So, like I said, we don't know who. Some people think it really is Trina's ex-husband, okay? And Tony says, we love our niece very much, but they were a little surprised. And Tamar says there was a lot going on the internet. And so Tamar is going to be having a podcast where she's going to interview Ashley on the podcast. And Tony thought that it wasn't going to be a good idea. And Tamar said, you're not going to make me fat, make me feel bad for doing that. And, it happened right before they start shooting the Braxton season 2. And then Tamar said that there was a cease and desist letter, okay, shutting down her business. Now, Tawanda said nope. Trina said she had nothing to do with it. And Tony is getting big mad here because Tamar said that you did not have my back. And this cease and desist was sent before Tamar said anything, right? And it's getting very, very heavy. Very, 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 very heavy, right? And Tony is big mad. And Tony is like, do not do not mess with Tony Braxton. Do not mess with me, Tony Braxton, right? And so it's getting very, very heavy. And apparently Tony said we need to have Asher on the show. Tony said she never said that. And she said, don't swear on my mother, because Tamar said, I swear on my mother. And then Tamar said that Tony said that, her show was the Chitlin Circuit. And I said to our international audience that chitlins are the intestines of a pig. And so those are all the venues that you had to go to because white people didn't like black people. So we had to find our own venues, right? And, this is not the forum. You said that, right? And so Tony is getting Tamar's face hard, right? And so then, child, the preview is the preview. I'm gonna slow it down so I can tell y'all everything that's happening here, okay? And this is as slow as I can go because they did this purposefully so that way you wouldn't catch everything. But Mama E is in the hospital, right? So yes, Mama E is in the hospital. We don't know for what. We do not know for what. As y'all know, Tamar threw a glass of water. It went into Tawanda's area. So Tony is crying because of Angie Stone. We know that. Then Mama E is in the hospital. Then Tawanda is getting ready for her bachelorette party. Tamar sitting down with T.S. Madison. Tamar is getting ready for a performance, and there's a zip line. Tony looks like she's getting a deal of some kind or something. And then Ashley and Tamar are doing their podcast, and Tamar is looking good. And then there's a conversation between Tawanda and Trina, right? And then 3 weeks earlier, let me speed it up here because we're building the playback speed. So then there's a conversation between Ashley and Tamar, right? And Tamar's looking good this thing. I will definitely have to give it to her. And so the producer asked, why was it important for you to reach out to Ashley for her to come on your podcast to tell her story? And Tamar said that when she went to the family, what she went through, as you guys know, Ayala Van Sant and the Braxtons had a intervention. And during that intervention, Tamar's truth about a family member messing with her happened, and the family didn't help. So Tamar wanted to help Ashley because it wasn't offered to her. And the girls are girling, okay? Tamar is very blessed, okay? She got a whole procedure done, but she looks good, though. And then, Tawanda and Trina talk about, the platform that Ashley's been given, and Trina says that sometimes people take the opportunity without thinking about the consequences. Now, you got to think about this, right? When it came to Gabe and what he did to Trina, could it be said, right, that Gabe was taking the opportunity to disrespect Trina Braxton? Right? You can also say Tawanda's ex-husband was taking the opportunity to disrespect Tawanda Braxton, right? So I don't think it's fair that, all of you have a voice on WeTV, but yet Tamar can't reach out to Ashley to try to be comforting. And we all know Tamar can be drama, but I do think Tamar was trying to do the right thing, and good for her. Not to mention Kevin Surratt Jr., who had a whole situation with his dad last season. Okay, y'all, Tawanda became a bonus mother. So why can't Tamar be a bonus mom to Ashley? I'm just asking questions around here. Okay? I'll cover everybody, men, women, children. Everybody get the fucking smoke around here. Ain't nobody that damn special. Except Jill Scott Lee and the Zinga Minor Lee. There's some exceptions. Michael Strain, there's some exceptions. But even them, they get talked about too, okay? So, listen, just keeping it a buck. And Trina said that, she said, I'm sorry this happened to you. I embrace you. There was some additional that you needed from me. Then why didn't you call me, right? And so, here's the thing. And I said this in the first live before I got, interrupted unnecessarily by YouTube and WeTV. I was saying that sometimes we fight with our perspective to try to figure out what it is before we take flight and give somebody our perspective. Sometimes we fight with our perspective before we take off and give our perspective to somebody, give flight and take off with our perspective and give it to somebody. Sometimes we fight with perspective, right? Before we take off in a flight to give our perspective to someone. And, Tamar said, what would you like to accomplish, with everything? And are you concerned about your family, right? And Ashley said, what she's saying is a lot. And it's going to surprise, it'll be a surprise for people. And Tamar and the girls are blessed. I mean, they are up high. The factory is there. And I would not mind being a servant to help make sure that, the factory can stay open. Maintenance checks and everything. But that's neither here nor there. So then the new season of the Braxtons, Friday, October 10th at 8/7 Central, only on WeTV and streaming on All Black. Y'all, listen. Don't you ever say I don't give you a show, right? Now, of course, we got a positive news story for you. Of course we do. Yes, indeed we do. Hey, two people, welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building here. Yes, indeed we do. Before we move on, I love me some Tony, but on this one, I believe Tamar, this family has a lot of trauma. Last season was their nephew. Now it's their niece. There needs to be some serious healing taking place, accountability and healing. So basically, they want Tamar to help silence their niece who suffered abuse. Tamar is the way that she is because she had to fight her own set of silencing to deal within the family. Speak out, Tay. Ashley's story was very heartbreaking. I'm definitely with Team Tamar in this one. And Trina, every accusation is confession. I believe Tamar Tony's lying. You did the right thing, Tamar, because we're always hiding things when it comes to family. Hashtag facts. Hell must be freezing over. Hell must be getting ready to freeze rather over because I think I'm actually on Tamar's side with this one. I don't get why they want silence. Ashley Tracy would never and never would. So here's your positive news story right here from Black PR Wire. Here, another great source. Here, definitely wanted to bring this to your attention. Right here, okay. So the 2025 Motown Experience Birth and Breastfeeding Conference, Transforming Maternal Health Together. The countdown begins. Final chance to register for the 2025 Motown Experience Birth and Breastfeeding Conference. Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association, BMBFA, is gearing up to welcome attendees throughout the nation to the 2025 Motown Experience Birth and Breastfeeding Conference, happening from September 24th through the 26th. So today's the last day in Detroit, Michigan, with on-site registration available. This is the last opportunity to join the country's most impactful gathering dedicated to advancing birth and breastfeeding health outcomes. 18 years strong, BMBFA's Motown Experience unites voices, celebrate Detroit's legacy, and advances maternal and infant health. This year's theme honors Detroit's cultural legacy while advancing critical conversations on maternal and infant health, with a keynote address from Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom, MD, MS, Face P, the nation's first state-level Surgeon General. Come on! Come through. As a nationally recognized maternal and child health leader, Dr. Wisdom's leadership embodies the spirit of Detroit, brave and resilient, said Keita Green, founding executive director of MBBFA. Her influence at every level makes her the perfect voice to guide us into the future of maternal and infant health. In addition to the keynote, the conference offers a robust lineup of sessions designed to inform, inspire, and equip attendees across the maternal and child health spectrum, from exploring ancestral traditions and Big Mama, matriarchal and ancestral praises, and advancing birth justice in Black Parade, the fight for Black justice, to centering and strengthening families and Daddy Knows Best, uplifting in Black Q and Proud. The sessions reflect the breadth of prenatal experiences. Participants will also focus on provider well-being through Are We Okay, sharpen practical skills, and come through doula and spilling the milk on lactation. That's a funny time. Girl, we just spilling the milk on lactation. You get your ass over here. Not ass, I'm sorry. Girl, bring your behind over here. We just spilling the milk on lactation. It's natural, it's human, and children deserve to be alive. All children, including Black children, okay? Examine accountability. And we got receipts and sustainable funding through Show Me the Money. Anchored by central experience like Triple Crown Babies, where families thrive, communities transform, and on the ground, Detroit's maternal child health immersive experience. The conference blends knowledge, skill building, and lived experience to drive meaningful change. With so much to gain, now's your time to secure your spot. Registration is available on site and at bmbfa.org/conference. And for an additional highlight, join us for an evening of art, soul, and legacy with Lauren J. Turner, inspiring fundraising event on Thursday night. Tickets can be purchased separately. So there you go there, everybody. Yes, indeed, there. I'll show you guys the website here very quickly before we head out. So here it is here. So like I said, I only learned about this today, so I am sorry, but we still promote. Okay, we still promote goodness over here. That's what we do. So as you can see here, Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. was the Black Breastfeeding Caucus Luncheon. Evening welcome reception, Thursday, September 25th, 2025, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the time period. There's Detroit Maternal Child Health Immersive Experience Bus Tour from 6 to 9 p.m. was an evening of art, soul, and legacy with Lauren J. Turner, Fine Art. And then today, Friday, morning, afternoon, keynote and breakout sessions for Friday, September 26th. So unfortunately, today it is the last day, but that does not mean that this does not deserve to get promoted. So, y'all, that's everything. I love everybody in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And listen, it is nothing personal, but sincerely, we're going to either be a problem to each other in our culture. We're going to be a solution to each other in our culture. I prefer to be a damn solution. And if being a solution means calling out problems, I'm the biggest problem calling out problems. But in the same token, I am moving forward and being a solution. How about you? One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. I'm so sorry that you had 2 shows today. It was YouTube and WeTV's fault. I still love WeTV and YouTube, but can we please get better at knowing who's a content creator, who ain't a content creator? Like, come on now. Make a content creator directory so that way we can show clips from your network. A rising tide lifts all boats, okay? Love y'all. Peace and have a great Friday. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because
Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.